So much of the history here is tied to civic engagement. The Carver School itself was founded to push for better education with students of color. And that's just one example of activism that defines Phoenix history. I recently went to an art installation where we explored the different figures in a recent movement.
A nation that forgets its past has no future.
How do you think this art installation best captures the movement?
These portraits are so human. What this exhibit tries to do, I think, is help you understand the reality behind life as a Black Arizonan and why people were out that day.
I saw so many of the statements starting with the words "I am." What was the decision behind choosing that and having that as the main name for the art installation?
This idea started to put the humanity back into the protest movement, and that was what inspired this project, I Am. They were asked to complete I Am statements to reflect on their life as a Black American. Before these portraits were taken, they completed these I Am statements. And then as these portraits were taken, the photographer read out some of these responses to them and captured their reactions. This pairing of portraits, very powerful. You're met with this young woman with tears in her eyes as she hears these I Am statements read back to her. Below her, you see a gentleman who has tattoos of tears running down his face.
Could you talk a little bit about what your favorite protest photo is on this wall?
What this image captures is the moment right after protesters threw fake blood on the monument. We can see it dripping down our state and onto this saying underneath, "A nation that forgets its past has no future." Seeing that image of a Confederate monument covered in fake blood, talking about the past, while simultaneously surrounded by this torso that lists the names of some of the victims of police brutality, I think is a powerful statement that shows that Arizona is a part of this story.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what is in the glass case there?
It's a t-shirt and a face mask from a vigil held in Tucson in early June of 2020 to remember George Floyd. We want to represent for the future generations what those protests were like.
Looking around, I'm seeing a lot of the same photo reoccurring throughout. Talk to me a little bit about that photo.
It was actually taken during the summer of 2020. It represents all of the violence against Black bodies that keeps happening. These are the names that we do know, but maybe the headless torso represents all of the individuals that we don't know, hence the repetition.
Could you talk a little bit about the process of gathering those quotes?
Over 100 people participated in this project. If anyone is interested in exploring all of the I Am statements, we have a booklet that contains all of the I Am statements, every single one.
What impact do you want people to take away from this exhibit as a whole and for future generations to inspire them?
All of the portraits here are either activists or allies of the Black Lives Matter movement. Take the time, look at these faces, read these statements, think about the human beings saying these statements.